Hello and welcome to yet another episode from Pale Blue Thoughts. Well, who doesn't like to dream? But have you wondered why do you dream at all in the first place? In fact, studies reveal that humans spend about 2 hours dreaming per night, and each dream lasts around 5 to 20 minutes. Although the person dreaming may perceive the dream as being much longer than that. Our late President APJ Abdul Kalam had famously said, "Dream is not that you see in sleep. Dream is something that does not let you sleep." However, that dream is different. Dreaming to win ₹1 million in lottery or dreaming of a dream vacation and what you dream during the night are two different things. I want to discuss about what you do in the night. I mean, when you're asleep. Welcome to the wonderful world of dreams. Welcome to Pale Blue Thoughts, the channel which dreams about everyone having a scientific temper and a world without pseudoscience. Since the dawn of human history, dreams have perplexed philosophers, priests, and poets. What do dreams mean? Do they foretell our future? Dream interpretation was practiced by the ancient Sumerians and Babylonians. People have come up with numerous explanations for why we dream. Sigmund Freud theorized that dreams reflect the dreamer's unconscious mind, and specifically that dream content is shaped by an unconscious desire to fulfill our wishes. Much is known about the role of sleep in regulating our metabolism, blood pressure, brain function, and other aspects of health. But it's been harder for researchers to explain the role of dreams. When you're awake, your thoughts have a certain logic to them. When you sleep, your brain is still active, but your thoughts or dreams often make little or no sense. This may be because the emotional centers of the brain triggers dreams rather than the logical regions. There are 4 phases of sleep. It can be classified as N1, N2, N3 and REM. During the earliest phases of sleep, you are still relatively awake and alert. At this time, the brain produces what are known as beta waves, small and fast brain waves that mean the brain is active and engaged. As the brain begins to relax and slow down, it lights up the alpha waves. During this transition into deep sleep, you may experience strange and vivid sensations known as hypnagogic hallucinations. Common examples of this phenomenon include the sensation of falling or hearing someone call your name. Then there is the myoclonic jerk. Myoclonus refers to a quick involuntary muscle jerk. You may suddenly jerk just before falling asleep. Some people call it sleep starts. I often experience this. What about you? Let me know in the comments. Dreams occur mainly in the rapid eye movement or the REM stage of sleep, a time during a sleep when our brain activity is high and resembles that of being awake. The brain produces a lot of delta waves during this time. In humans, sleep is dotted by rapid eye movement sleep every 90 minutes. This is when most dreaming occurs. Although some form of dreaming can occur during non-REM sleep, such dreams are abstract and lack the visual vividness of REM dreams. Because REM sleep is detectable in many species, and because research suggests that all mammals experience REM, linking dreams to REM sleep has led to speculations that other animals dream too. I have often seen my cats twitch their whiskers and chin while they are deep asleep. Maybe they are dreaming of catching a rat and eating it. Who knows? REM sleep is very important for our optimum brain functions. Studies in mice have proved that when they are not allowed to go into a REM sleep, they tend to forget things easily. The same happens in humans too. That is how important REM sleep is for maintaining our memory and for the brain to function at its best. Another interesting aspect of REM sleep is the production of some chemicals inside our brain like norepinephrine, serotonin and histamine, which gets completely blocked. That is one of the reasons why you can dream about flying in the sky or running around, but your body doesn't move. During REM, your body is completely still. That is why sometimes you wake up unable to move when you see some dreams. You may be awake, but you're not completely out of the REM state and you're unable to move. Then there are people who have REM sleeping disorder. For them, instead of the body staying still during REM sleep, they physically act out their dreams. These include acting out movements such as kicking, punching, or jumping from the bed in response to action-filled or violent dreams, such as being chased or defending yourself from an attack. They are the same people who talk, laugh, or shout in their sleep. There are many theories which have been proposed as to why we dream. Let us look at some of them. Let us look at the evolutionary reason first. What if I told you that dreams evolved as a result of the rotation of our planet? That's right. Scientists think that the origin of dreams might have to do with the sheer amount of time humans spend in the dark. Vision is a very important sense for us humans. It is curious, but even people who are born blind or have been blinded at a very early age do dream. But they don't dream visually like we do. But they dream about feeling their way through a room or dream about sounds. So we know that if we don't use the visual cortex for some time, then it gets used by our other senses. Dreams may have evolved in mammals to keep these vulnerable areas active at night so that it doesn't get rewired while we are asleep. Another model that has been developed is called the activation synthesis model. It suggests that dreaming results from the brain's attempt to make sense of neural activity that takes place during sleep. First, scientists thought that the events that we experience while we dream were just side effects of the basic biological process in our brains. The brain performs a lot of activities while we sleep, including cleaning up, and also consolidates the memory of the day. They thought that the brain was trying to make sense of all these random things by trying to weave everything into a single story. But we know that dreams are not always random. What we dream about usually has a lot to do with what we do while we are awake. There have been many studies where people who have been subjected to playing video games for long durations during the day often dream about that during their sleep. So maybe it's our brain's way of etching things for use for a longer time. If we look at the patterns of brain activity just after dreaming, it looks very similar to how our brains normally store memories. So dreams may be a sort of action replay of our daily experiences with some illogical and over-the-top stuff added. Maybe this is our brain's idea of being funny. Dreams can also lead to problem solving, and that may be one of the reasons why we dream. Take the case of Auguste Kekulé, the person who discovered the structure of benzene. Chemists around that time knew that there was something odd about benzene, which they attributed to the spatial arrangement of its atoms. One day, whilst at work, Kekulé dozed off and he dreamed about a snake trying to eat its own tail. This apparently inspired him to come up with the hexagonal ring structure of benzene. One theory for why we dream is that it helps facilitate our creative tendencies. Many artists often attribute dreams for helping to inspire some of their most creative work. Examples include Yesterday, the iconic song by Beatles, and the novel Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. Another theory about the purpose of dreams is that they help you store important memories and things you have learned and get rid of unimportant memories. Research among students show that if you learn new information and sleep on it, you will be able to recall it better than if asked to remember that information without the benefit of sleep. And then, how can we ignore nightmares? Nightmares are considered as distressing or terrifying dreams, and nightmares often make you lose your sleep. You wake up with a start when you have a nightmare. 1 in 40 dreams are nightmares. So why does your brain try to scare you? For that, there is a theory called the threat simulation theory. According to the threat simulation theory, the function of dreams is a kind of flight or fight training which served as an evolutionary advantage for our ancestors. Our ancestors had a life where there were plenty of life-threatening situations. It was more of eating without getting eaten. This theory suggests that dreams let us practice dangerous events and situations in a less harmful location, between your ears. Simply put, the brain is trying to condition us to survive threatening experiences by showing it in our dreams, which may help us to survive it when we may face it in real life. But today, such situations are not present as it did thousands of years ago. Today we live in societies than in forests. So we may have evolved to practice societal situations rather than survival instincts. Today, we may dream more about social situations like going for a date with your girlfriend or fighting with a friend, etc. Since being social is very important to the well-being of our species, practicing this in advance inside our brains while sleeping could have an evolutionary advantage. This is called the social simulation theory. Let us see some very common kinds of dreams that we often have. A daydream is a fantasy which is often happy and pleasant, which contains thoughts about hopes or ambitions which we experience while we are awake. People in love often experience this all the time. Another type of dream is called a lucid dream. Lucid dreams are dreams in which the dreamer becomes aware that they are dreaming while dreaming. During a lucid dream, the dreamer may gain some amount of control over the characters, narrative, or environment within the dream. You're dreaming and you know that you're dreaming, and you're inside your own dream and you can control it. Physical laws need not apply in the dream, so if you wanted to fly flapping your hands or have a dinner with your favorite star, you're able to do it. So how can you remember your dreams? The recollection of dreams is extremely unreliable, though it is a skill that can be learned. Dreams can usually be recalled if a person is awakened while dreaming. Interestingly, women tend to recall dreams more than men. There is considerable evidence that the more vivid, intense, or unusual the dream is, the more frequently it is remembered. In fact, if you have a dream but don't wake up during the dream, you won't be able to remember it. The dreams you remember are the ones that are ongoing when you awaken. 2 ways to help recall your dreams is to tell yourself as you're falling asleep that you want to remember your dream. If that is your last thought, you may be more likely to wake up with a dream still somewhat fresh in your memory. Since dream recall can easily be interrupted, you should try to remember as much of your dream as soon as you wake up. Don't get out of the bed or think about anything else. Try to grasp whatever images or memories you have of your dream and write them down immediately. Try it and let me know how it worked for you. So research is still ongoing as to why we dream. Isn't it cool that we have now been able to see stars and galaxies billions of light years away, but we still don't know why we dreamt about fighting a dinosaur last night? Science. Always figuring out things, but never figuring it out all the way. I hope you learned something new today. If you did, please share it with your family and friends. Let me go and dream about reaching 10,000 subscribers. I shall be back soon with more scientific content. Until then, it's bye-bye from Pale Blue Thoughts.